This is the Ryder and Lisa podcast.
What age can you tell a kid is going to be a handful?
We should call your mom and ask.
Oh, she doesn't answer the phone when I call anymore. Yeah, just wanted to ask this. Maybe you have raised a child. Maybe you were the kid. At what age did things start going a little sideways and you're like, uh-oh. There is a story about a 10-year-old in Minnesota who's just gotten arrested for the third time.
What?
10. Posted a story on our website about a 10-year-old who just got arrested for the third time. In the past, there's been like assault with weapons charges, robbery, grand theft auto.
At 10 years old.
Yeah, and this time he stole a car and drove it round and round a playground.
With kids in the playground.
Yeah.
Imagine getting that phone call from the police being like, guess what your son did this time? And he's only 10?
Like, they got a spot in jail just waiting for him. His name's already on the wall. Off to a bad start.
Yeah, some of those semi-permanent tattoos, just a little teardrop.
You said that your haunted house would be just a house full of thermostats you're not allowed to touch.
Yeah, that's one of them. Or my haunted house would be someone in every room wondering if I can lock down a plan that's like 3 weeks away. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know if I'll make it, okay? I don't know what kind of person I'm going to be that day.
Mm-hmm.
I hate
You
that.
were impossible to make plans with.
I know. But I understand why that's frustrating for people when they like need a certain head count or certain things are going to be happening if I'm there or not there.
How many times do you think I've had to ask you if you want to go to something like, let's say, somebody's wedding? How many times have I had to ask you leading up to it because I need to give them numbers?
7.
You think on an average 7? I'd say closer to 25, and at least 4 of them turn into arguments.
Let's circle back to the first haunted house, the thermostat one.
So what would be in your haunted house?
Okay, so we got this text from Allie. Haunted house idea. Every room has a grandma in it asking why she hasn't heard from you in so long.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. Do you have a suggestion, Ryder?
Yeah, if I got like really dirty hands and there was nowhere to wash them, I hate that.
Okay, I have another one that you would hate.
Okay.
A haunted house, but in every room, you don't know if the word is happen or happen.
Yeah.
You really struggle with that.
Uh-huh.
Which is okay, but it's like once a week, Ryder will be like, okay, if I say this sentence, is it happen or happened?
It's a tough one.
That's a haunted house for you.
Or like a room full of all of my exes just talking about me.
Ugh.
Hey?
I do not want to be a fly on the wall when my exes talk about me. I think it would be very upsetting to hear.
Uh-huh. I'd actually like to be in that room.
You want to get in on that?
I can contribute.
Do you get stand in the corner?
You ever try to make plans with her?
And now, here's another terrifying episode of Terror Tales.
This is from Natalie. I had a ghost when I was a kid. My mom explains that when I was about 4, she was making grilled cheese sandwiches for lunch, and I was sitting at the table when I suddenly asked Mom, "Who's this?" And I pointed to the chair, empty, across from me. She asked me who I was pointing at, and I looked as if I was listening before I excitedly said, "He says his name's Alan."
That is so scary coming from a 4-year-old, especially if they've never met an Alan before, to know that name even.
Well, I remember my imaginary friend Alan. We played together a lot for a long time. When I was around 8, my friends would make fun of me for having an imaginary friend. So I decided I couldn't be friends with Alan anymore. I remember having a talk with him, telling him this, and although I couldn't see him, I remember him being very upset with me.
Wow, the fact that it's Natalie's perspective and she remembers Alan, usually it's the parent just saying, like, my kid had an imaginary friend, they don't remember it. Wow.
That night, my parents were watching TV when he acted. They used to bottle their own wine. They would keep it at the back of a shelf they made that was about a foot wide. Suddenly, all the bottles were thrown off. Not just knocked over, thrown across the room, smashing everywhere. I started getting sleep paralysis after this and nightmares. It would make me sleep with my parents in their room. I don't know exactly how long this lasted, but eventually it stopped. It wasn't until I was an adult my mom explained to me she also saw a ghost once, the night her cousin Alan passed away.
No!
How can't you hear a story like that or read a story like that and say that you don't believe in ghosts?
I believe in ghosts. They think I'm annoying, so nobody ever haunts me.
You think you want to be haunted.
Well,
You've said that before.
I would love to see something paranormal
Okay.
to really solidify that it's a thing. But
Well, get a Ouija board. Anyway, thank you, Natalie. That is a terrifying story, and I'm glad Alan eventually left you alone.
how mad would you be at your Uncle Alan? Especially if the wine was red.
Or, like, if the wine was really good.
What was the last straw? We're talking about breakups right now.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that made you go, yeah, I'm done? Because everybody has a story.
Well, and sometimes it's super obvious and massive.
Yes, of course.
Like, caught them cheating. And
outside of
that's
that.
it.
So let's go outside of the obvious.
No, we want to hear the big ones, too.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, I want the juice.
I just like the stories of, like, the certain situation, something that they said that you're like, I'm done, and you left, and it was over. Not like, okay, we might get back together. That solidified it. Nail in the coffin. Goodbye.
It could be a divorce. It could be just a breakup. Maybe you were just seeing somebody and they did something ridiculous.
One of my girlfriends, she was married for a long time, and she was contemplating leaving, but didn't know for sure if it was the right move. And she had a test one day. She's like, depending on how he reacts when I ask him a very simple question, that is going to be the deciding factor. Yep.
Holy
And
man.
all she didn't even ask the question yet. She called his name and like through the house. And it was a
Let's
very
just say his name was Jared.
Jared, sure.
Oh, you gave me a weird look. I was like, was his name actually Jared?
No. But it was a very simple thing that she just needed him to like toss down to her from upstairs. Okay. So she goes, Jared. And he goes, what? And that was it. She was like, I don't deserve to be spoken to that like that when I haven't even done anything. Like, it was just his attitude and like the grumpiness and the aura in the home. And she left.
Holy man.
Yeah, they're still like close. They're good friends.
Yeah.
But she's like, this is not the relationship that I deserve.
I broke up with my girlfriend of 5 years because she made the Subway guy cry. She asked for light mayo, and he put on too much, so he scraped off the extra. She scolded him until he was holding back tears, and that's when I realized that she wasn't just ambitious, she was an a-hole. Thank you for sharing.
There you go. All it took was some mayo. And that was the deciding factor.
We're asking you, what was the last straw? And oh my goodness, are we getting some great texts and calls on this one?
And I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
This one here, she was a heavy smoker and would also crush those pickled mini hot dogs every time I was over. Kissing her was like tasting a salty ashtray. I tried to acquire the taste over several weeks, but in the end, it was unattainable.
Yeah, that's a weird combo. Smoked pickle.
I'm going to keep this next one anonymous, but it is...
Is this the one you were going to read me and I was too busy over here? Okay, I'm ready for it
Are
now.
you ready for
Yeah,
this?
Yeah.
When I looked at a picture of my boyfriend sleeping and he was ugly in it. I always thought he was cute. And when you're sleeping, you're not doing anything wrong. But to be ugly in a sleeping picture was the last straw.
What do you got for us?
So I was redating an ex, and we had gone to Craven Country Music Festival, and he left me there.
What?
Yeah, he decided that he wanted to leave a day early. Turns out it was because he was booty called, but he left me to figure out my own way home.
Beef tallow, I know, is used for cooking. I didn't realize it was used as a beauty product.
Yeah, so it's like a really thick
It's beef fat.
substance. Yeah, and you layer it on your face, and it's super hydrating. Good for preventing wrinkles.
Go out into the sun after that at all? You'd smell like a cheeseburger.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. If you had beef fat on your face and you went outside, you would smell like a barbecue.
Well, you don't just put it on just like raw dog like that. You add essential oils to it.
I don't care.
Yeah, there's a lot of them at like local markets. That's where I bought mine. It's like a locally sourced farm that has beef tallow, and then they put them in cute little packages and you put it on your face. It does feel like super thick though, just a heads up.
Do you do it before a bed routine, or is this like I'm putting beef fat on my face in the morning before I leave the house?
Bedtime.
Okay. So you wouldn't be out in the sun with it?
No.
Yeah, because you would smell like barbecue.
No, you wouldn't,
Yeah,
Ryder. You add essential oils to it, like peppermint and stuff.
If you throw some essential oils on the barbecue and you're cooking some steaks, what are you going to smell? Steak.
Ryder, I'm telling you right now, when you open the package, it does not smell like meat.
Okay, here's what we're doing then. We're going to put an end to this once and for all. You're going to lather yourself in beef tallow and go and hit a tanning bed. And you tell me what it smells like.
I'm not going to do that because that defeats the whole purpose of tallow. I'm trying to be youthful.
So this doesn't gross you out?
I just don't think about it. It's like when you make dinner and you say, Lisa, your meaties are ready. I don't want to know what it is. Just tell me it's chicken. What is it? Pork, probably. Ugh. Don't need to know.
Yeah, you
Wow,
won't.
that made me sound like I'm 6 years old.
You are. You eat like you're a 6-year-old with a budget. You won't take meat out of like a container. Like you won't unwrap ground beef. You won't move steak from the packaging out onto a plate.
Okay.
But you're going to rub beef fat on your face. It just seems like...
I don't think of it as beef fat. That's why I use it. It's just a cream.
You know what? How long have you been doing this for?
A couple years.
Yeah. I could notice a shift a couple years ago. I started really craving kebabs during the show.
Let's be honest. You wanted to say that I've turned into a cow.
No.
Imagine.
I was not going to say that.
Guess what? I screwed up this week. I forgot to put MatchMaker on Monday's podcast.
Oh.
So I'm going to add it to today's.
Okay.
So
So
you'll actually
anybody
hear-
that's following along and listening to the podcast to confirm numbers every day.
Should I tell the numbers right now?
Sure.
I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
So on Monday, the numbers that were guessed were,
17 was one, and that was Oilers Sweet Spot, an Oilers-themed candy package from Sweet Convenience.
and 23 was guessed, which does not match with 17. 23 is Relax and Rejuvenate, a gift card to Hyperbaric Health and Spa.
If you would like to be our contestant today for Matchmaker and just guess two different numbers, if the prizes match, you win them.
Hello?
Hi, Kelsey. It's Ryder and Lisa calling.
Hi.
Are you ready to play Matchmaker?
Absolutely.
I love it. All right. What's your first number you want to guess, Kelsey?
23?
23, Relax and Rejuvenate, a $50 gift card for Hyperbaric Health and Spa.
And 30.
30, Relax and Rejuvenate, a $50 gift card to Hyperbaric Health and Spa. You've been following along.
Absolutely. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Edmonton will soon have its own bird representation. So there have been over 300 bird species recorded in the city, but they have whittled down the list to the top 6, and they're competing for the title of Edmonton's City Bird. So people can go vote if anyone wants the direct link for this. How much fun is that? So many people I know. I don't know if it's like because I'm at a certain age now, but they have cameras outside of their bird feeders outside, and they just post what birds stop by to get some seeds. They've named these birds. It's a whole thing.
Have you seen the masks where the birds will come up and feed right off of your face?
No.
Yeah, it's like a mask that you put on and has a little bird feeder out front, and you just sit and you just watch
look
it
at
like
it.
from 10 centimeters from your face. The birds will be eating.
That's so cool. So here are the top 6 birds you can vote for. Again, if you want the direct link, just hit us up on the text line. I'll send it to your phone. Blue jay,
No, that's a Toronto thing.
downy woodpecker. Those are cool.
Plus woodpecker. It's just a hilarious combination of words.
Red-breasted nuthatch. I know why you're voting for that one.
It sounds like a pair of underwear.
The black-billed magpie. No. We don't want magpies as Edmonton's bird.
I like them.
Well, they're destructive.
Yeah. So are Edmontonians. Watch out for us.
Boreal chickadee. Those ones are cute. Or the northern saw-whet owl. Scary.
What about like golf course goose? That's what I'd vote for.
Yeah, wait a minute. Why isn't that on the list?
I just read something and it hit home. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Now you are. All right. It says, remember, friend, a $4 iced latte is $4. That's $20 a week, $80 a month, $960 a year. After 10 years, that's $9,600, which is still not enough for a down payment on a house. Enjoy your espresso in peace.
I was just going to say, wait, where are we getting $4 iced coffees? I need to switch locations.
The Ryder and Lisa Podcast. Play 107.